What is up, you guys? Welcome to the collective. My name is Furman, and in this video we're going to be talking about something a bit controversial: eShops. But before we get started, don't forget to like this video, don't forget to share this video, and definitely do not forget to subscribe to my channel for more awesome content just like this. Alright, let's get into it. Alright guys, so as you guys already know, last month in the middle of February, it was announced that Nintendo was going to be closing the Wii U eShop and the 3DS eShop.
You what?
Now, I don't know about you guys, but I was actually fortunate and lucky enough to buy at least the majority of the games that I wanted from the 3DS eShop and from the Wii U eShop. That of which, especially when it comes to the Wii U eShop, you know, we're talking about, they have the whole Battle Network series on that eShop. So, you know, when I got a Wii U a few years back, I went ahead and just kind of bought all of them. So I'm kind of ahead of the curve when it comes to that kind of stuff. But you know what? A lot of people aren't. And not only did they say they were going to be shutting it down, but they also said that they were going to be shutting it down in March. So that doesn't give anybody any time to go in there and buy stuff. Yeah, there might be a bunch of people that were ready for these things, but for the most part, you know, nobody was thinking, oh, I better go dust off my Wii U and buy all the games that I want on it because it's about to be gone in a little bit. But I digress. So, you know, my first reaction towards hearing these news was, it kind of made me sad because, you know, the Wii U and the 3DS, more the 3DS than the Wii U, but, you know, they were such a big part of our lives for the, you know, like for the last decade, literally. Like they were really good consoles, and not so much for the Wii U because, you know, it did not sell very well, but you know, the people that had the Wii U, they enjoyed it, and I had fun with it. Like, I don't know, call me crazy, but it did have some really good games on it. It's just, I understand why people were frustrated about it. It's because it didn't really make sense. It looked more like an addition. It looked more like something that you don't necessarily need, and that the Wii U was gonna, and that the Wii was gonna be good enough, you know? You know, I think what people were thinking is that it was gonna be more like, you know how the 3DS has the new Nintendo 3DS? I think that's kind of what they had in mind, and you know, that's why they didn't purchase it. And you know what, when it comes to all these things, the only good thing that has come about this is the fact that Nintendo has ported over a lot of the games from the Wii U to the Nintendo Switch. They haven't ported everything over, but they ported a lot of games. Can we please get the Zelda games? For the love of God, Twilight Princess HD and Wind Waker HD. I mean, come on, just get it done. But I digress. I'm over here just monologuing. You know, the whole point of me talking about this was basically to talk about the eShops. So let's get back into that. Now, one thing I did want to mention is it's how anti-consumer these eShops are really set up to be. And you know what? That's when I came to the realization that there is a company that's kind of doing it right.
Oh my God! Wow!
And you would have never expected me to be talking about them because I love consoles. I love Nintendo stuff, PlayStation, Xbox. But you know, when it comes to this, there's just a company that's doing it better, and it is Valve. You have to hand it down to them. You can't take anything away from them. As of today, at least, you know, because they might change their mind, we don't know. But Valve has been holding it down hardcore. They have one of the best, if not the best, eShop when it comes to video games. And you want to know why? It is because that eShop is not just on a certain PC. It's not just a dedicated, like you have to buy Alienware to have access, or you gotta be an HP user, or you know, like a Lenovo, like you know what I mean? You don't need a specific kind of PC to access the Steam. And that's kind of one thing that's really irritating, especially when it comes to Nintendo and Sony and Xbox. Not so much Xbox, because Xbox is doing a good job of, you know, still allowing you to be able to buy and play the legacy games. Or at least they're doing a better job than most of the other companies, if you know what I mean. But yeah, like I was just looking into it. Like I've never had a Steam account because, you know, I'm mostly a console gamer. And that's fine, you know. But I actually got one. And I was looking across the Steam store. That's what it's called, right? I was looking at the Steam store and I was seeing games like, I'm talking Sonic Generations, like Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. You know, a lot of like these really old games that you otherwise can't really play anymore unless you have an Xbox 360 or a PS3. They're just there. And it makes perfect sense. Like, I have a pre-order for the Steam Deck. Pretty sure you guys already know because I did a couple of videos about that. But I have a pre-order for the Steam Deck. And when I buy it, I'm going to be buying these games on this thing. And you know what's the best part about it? Is that if they were to make another Steam Deck or another console or something, you know, like you can still have all your games and play them on there. It's all about just making sure that they're optimized, and that's basically it. And that just, it just frustrates me so bad. Yes, I understand that you can't play 3DS games on the Switch. Like, you just can't. Or you can't play most DS games on the Switch either. Unless they're just like strictly buttons and you're playing on the TV. But like, you know, I understand that those games can't be translated over and you can't necessarily play those on a Switch or on another console. But Game Boy Advance, Game Boy, Super Nintendo, all of these older games, like, what is the holdup? Why is this something that, you know, we can't, you know, like we just can't play these games, and they don't even care about that. Like they don't even care about the fact that they could be making money on these older games. They just don't give a crap. And you know, it's not necessarily just about playing these games. It is about history. It is about having and preserving these games and being able to play them, and not just being able to play them, being able to own them like forever. When you buy a digital game, it is technically virtually yours forever. But here's the problem with that. What if you don't have that console anymore? What if you don't have a Game Boy Advance? What if you don't have a DS? What if you don't have a Switch? Do you all of a sudden just lose all those games because they didn't feel like adding it on to the next greatest console that they're going to come out with? Yeah, that's pretty much what's happening. And it's frustrating. Like, the slow drip of games just doesn't make sense. It just does not make sense why we are just now in the 5th year of Nintendo Switch. Or is it the 6th year?
You stupid!
Yeah, the 5th year. We're in Nintendo Switch's 5th year, and we are just now getting Earthbound. I mean, that's not even acceptable. This is crazy. I mean, where is Super Mario RPG? And you know, a lot of people might say that there's licensing issues and all of these things that keep those games off of this console. But no, it was on the Wii U. It was on the Wii U. They clearly made a deal so they can make another deal and figure it out and put it on the Switch.
Three days later.
Yeah, so all in all, this is like kind of frustrating and makes me sad to see these consoles go away. And not just that, but you know, they're getting harder and harder to find, and they're getting more expensive, and it's frustrating. You know, it's frustrating as a retro game collector. I mean, there's games like, you know, like I've always wanted to buy Earthbound. Or not always, but I've wanted to buy Earthbound ever since I found out about how awesome it is. I've wanted to buy it. And honestly, I probably should have bought it then because it was like going for $500 to $700. Now, if you want to buy Earthbound in good condition, you're not paying anything less than $3,000. Like, it's just not happening. Yeah, so it's definitely unfortunate to see these console eShops go. But you know, Nintendo is not necessarily like Sony, whereas Sony changed their mind, even though they did end up removing the PSP eShop. But you know, nobody complained about that, so it's fine. Nintendo's definitely not going to change their mind. I was hoping they might change it for the 3DS because of how massively successful it was. But about the Wii U, no. I'm actually shocked that it lasted this long, honestly. But yeah, guys, that is the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know if you're depressed or sad about these eShops going down under, being closed down. Alright guys, we will see you guys on the next video. Peace.